On Fox, the man accused of attempting to grab a child from a park in Vancouver made his first court appearance today.
He's facing multiple charges, but family members of the alleged victim are concerned about what he has not been charged with. Fox 12's McKenna Marks has been following this story inside a Vancouver courtroom, and she brings us the latest.
Michael McLaughlin is accused of trying to grab an 11-year-old girl from a park in Vancouver. Today in court, the prosecution requested that his charges be expanded to include attempted kidnapping, but the judge declined, saying that as of today, there still is not enough information. McLaughlin, a 35-year-old Vancouver resident, was arrested yesterday after allegedly trying to take an 11-year-old girl from Leaser Neighborhood Park. Today, he made his first court appearance. Since Tuesday, McLaughlin has been at the Clark County Jail, booked for unlawful imprisonment and assault in the 4th degree. I spoke to the victim's aunt on the phone today, who tells me her family is shocked that he wasn't booked on attempted kidnapping. In court, the prosecution requested that the attempted kidnapping charge be added, and that request seemed to shock McLaughlin.
We're actually asking the court to find probable cause for attempted kidnapping in the 2nd degree.
The judge ultimately decided that McLaughlin's actions did not match the definition of attempted kidnapping, so his charges will remain the same. As today's hearing continued, the prosecution walked the court through McLaughlin's criminal history. The prosecution claims that McLaughlin is involved in an investigation in Arizona involving his daughter.
And he is the suspect in an investigation involving allegations of sexual abuse and physical abuse. The alleged victim of those matters is his biological daughter. His biological daughter is here present in the courtroom.
According to a probable cause document, the arresting officer stated that McLaughlin may have believed the victim at the park was his daughter. The officer's statement reads, quote, "Sensing the girl's discomfort, but believing she simply didn't know he was her father, he started saying something to the effect of, 'I'm your dad.' When the girl did not stop moving away because he's not her dad, Michael moved to intercept her on a short distance from the swings," end quote. To be clear, the judge noted that investigation in Arizona has not resulted in any charges against McLaughlin. The prosecution asked the judge to set a $1 million bail, but again, the judge disagreed.
I'm going to set the bail at $20,000 under these circumstances and impose the GPS monitoring. I think that is appropriate.
The judge also ordered a no-contact order against McLaughlin, stating he cannot be near children or allowed in places where children are present. McLaughlin will be arraigned on Wednesday, September 4th at 9 a.m. Reporting in Vancouver, McKenna Marks, Fox 12 Oregon.